I have been debt-free besides my mortgage for over 4 years now, and it has been life-changing. Back in 2016, I was in the middle of paying off over $82,000 in debt, and I started sharing my journey here on YouTube on my channel, Pennies Not Perfection. I then proceeded to pay off another $42,000 after my first 40, and that process was hard, it was difficult, but being debt-free has been life-changing for me. I've been consumer debt-free for over 4 years now, besides my mortgage, and I want to share some of the reasons why I feel like this was such a pivotal, life-changing moment for me. But first I want to talk about why I chose to pay off debt instead of investing. This is a decision that everyone has to make when they are deciding whether or not they want to pay off debt. Do you pay it off aggressively, or do you invest aggressively, or do you try to find balance? I decided to pay off debt and still invest my money in my 401k and my Roth IRA, but I was not as aggressive with investing. I know that if I had taken that $40,000 that I put toward my debt and instead invested it, I would be further along in my wealth building journey. I have no regrets. Paying off my debt was truly life-changing for me, and it gave me so many benefits, and that's what I want to share with you today. I honestly wouldn't change the decision for anything. It gave me both the freedom of being debt-free and this channel, Pennies Not Perfection, so it was truly the right choice for me. It might not be the right choice for you, but after listening to these life-changing benefits, maybe you'll decide that being debt-free is the right choice. So it was super life-changing to get out of debt. Would I ever go back into debt? Would I ever take on credit cards or student loan debt again? The answer is no. We've actually been considering a potential education opportunity for us in our family, and that would be a chance to take on student loans, but instead we decided that if that happens, we are going to pay cash for it. We will pay for classes as they are taken, and we will not be taking on debt to pursue any educational opportunities. We also won't be taking on car loans, so we're saving up to purchase another car. We are trying to forever stay debt-free if possible. So why exactly is being debt-free so life-changing for us? Number one, my money is now mine. There are no lingering debt obligations that take my money from me every single month. Now, instead of paying off those credit card bills or paying for my student loans, I'm able to use my money how I want to every single month. I can save my money, I can invest my money, I can purchase things that I want. I have the opportunity to use my entire income however I want to for my life. There is so much freedom in that, and it feels so empowering. It also feels like I got a raise because that money that was going toward my debt previously is now mine to use however I want to use it. Before, when I was paying off my debt, it felt like I was just losing money constantly to that debt obligation. And now I'm able to use that money in ways that are more empowering, are building wealth, and are just improving my life overall. The second reason paying off debt was life-changing for me is the peace of mind that I have from not having that debt anymore. I have a very complicated history with debt, and you can watch my previous videos on how that affected my life, from losing a family member to watching my mom's house be foreclosed on. Debt is this huge monster that's always lurking at the back of my mind when I have debt. Now that I don't have any debt obligations, there's no longer that lurking financial boogeyman in the back of my mind, because there's no one that's going to be coming after my money. There's no one coming to garnish my wages or sue me or try to somehow get my money because I owe someone a debt. Removing that constant weight of having debt and having those payments has given me less anxiety. It's given me more peace of mind. It has honestly changed how I feel about money because I'm not constantly worried about that debt. The peace of mind that comes with being debt-free is the reason why some people pay off their mortgages even with the low rates, because when you don't owe anyone anything, you have so much more peace of mind, you have less anxiety over money, and that is worth a lot in our world. The next reason that paying off debt was life-changing is because now nothing works against me. When I was paying off my debt, I was basically going backwards as I was trying to make progress. When I was paying off my debt, I was paying sometimes $10 a day in interest. I was just racking up this interest. It was working against me as I was trying to improve my finances. That is the problem with debt, especially high interest debt like credit cards. You are basically struggling just to make any level of progress, especially if you're only paying the minimum payments. As you're paying the minimums, that debt is accruing a lot of interest, and that's why sometimes people are paying for years and years on their debt, those minimum payments, and they still have the same balance or even higher. Without an aggressive plan, you can be stuck for so long just spinning your wheels with your debt, and you still pay so much more than you originally even owed. And without that debt in my life now, I know I'm not working backwards. I'm not stuck where I was. I'm able to use my money to move forward because I'm not constantly paying interest that's rising and rising and rising. And that's another reason why being debt-free is life-changing, because I can now focus on the future. Without debt payments, without those past obligations taking my income every single month, I'm able to use my money to invest and focus on the future. I've been able to save up a home down payment. I've been able to max out my investments for several years. I'm able to start building wealth and building a retirement fund for myself in the future so that I'm able to just focus on that future instead of looking at my past obligations. With no debt to worry about, I'm able to plan aggressively for my future. I'm able to make ambitious financial goals. I'm able to actually save and invest a lot of money every single year now because I'm not paying down debt. I love being able to focus on the future and confidently plan for retirement, for my next phase of life, for planning even just simple things like taking a large vacation. I'm able to focus on what's next instead of what came before. Another reason paying off your debt is life-changing is because it gives you flexibility to take risk. This is something that is really underrated, but when you do not owe anyone anything, you're able to leave situations behind and take risks on yourself that you could not do if you had a lot of debt payments. Without debt weighing me down, I was able to take risks and reach for opportunities. I was able to leave my 9-to-5 job and pursue being a content creator. That has made me more money doing this, but I never would have made that choice if I still had debt. If I had monthly obligations with my student loans, with credit card payments, I would probably not take on an unstable career. I would probably not start a business. I would want to have a steady income that can pay those debt payments. But because I paid off my debt, I was able to quit. I was able to spend more time with my little kids. I was able to live the life that I wanted, to take the risk, to walk away from a situation. And that is what being debt-free allows you to do. You're able to take risks because you have fewer obligations to meet every single month with your money. Not having debt allows you to take those risks, and it allows you to walk away from situations that are bad for you or toxic for you or abusive to you. This is something that I think personally is an underrated benefit of being debt-free, and something that I hope if you're in the middle of paying off your debt, you realize will come at the end. Having the freedom to take risks and take opportunities is super important and so underrated. It's definitely worth it. Along those same lines, when you are debt-free, you have opportunities for growth. Instead of focusing on the past, you're able to focus on the growth for the future. And this is especially true with your investing. When you aren't paying all of those monthly payments for credit card bills, for car payments, for student loans, you are able to take that money and invest it, and you can grow your net worth really rapidly with all of that money. When you're debt-free, you will be investing more money, and you will see your net worth rise and rise and rise over time, because you will be making continual progress. So some months my net worth didn't really grow. Sometimes I was just stuck in that area and I really didn't make much progress. But now that I am debt free, I've been able to max out my retirement accounts. I've been able to contribute to a brokerage account. I've been able to invest so much, and my net worth has grown a ton in the last 4 years because I've been debt free. Without paying off my debt, I would not have been able to do that because my money every single month would have been going toward those debt payments. And when I didn't have them in my budget, I was then able to put more money toward maxing out my Roth IRA and accounts like that. So every single year since I've been debt free, I've been able to put so much more toward my future and see that money grow steadily over time. Another underrated benefit of being debt free that I personally love is less stress. Having no debt makes your life way less stressful. All of those other benefits that I've been talking about, they are all really kind of tangible, but this one is something that is not really something you can touch or see. You can't see your stress level going up or going down, but you can feel it when you don't have debt payments. You are able to have less anxiety, less stress, and you're not as worried about making so much money to pay down that debt. Being debt-free has dramatically reduced my stress personally. It's allowed me to make less money at times, but still live the life that I want. Without the lingering student loans and credit cards and all of that on my shoulders, I've been way less stressed. I know that I don't have to make as much money to meet my monthly obligations because I don't have any of those debt payments in my budget anymore. I'm able to focus on what I really care about and the things that really matter to me. And honestly, that was never debt. That debt didn't matter to me other than the fact that it stressed me so much. Those are things that were in the past that I wasn't currently focused on, but I still had to pay for. And that was super stressful to me personally. And without it, I have way less stress in my life. Another benefit of being debt-free is that I now have much healthier spending habits. I am able to spend guilt-free now because before, when I was paying off debt or when I was in debt and still accumulating, I knew that every time I made a purchase, it was either adding to the debt or pushing me further away from my goal of being debt-free. There was a lot of guilt attached to my spending, even though I really wanted the things I was buying. I could feel it in the back of my mind that this was not the right choice. Now I am able to spend without guilt, without stress, without any of the shame that was building in the back of my mind, and I'm able to spend more intentionally and enjoy the things that I get to buy. Instead of thinking about my purchases as they racked up 20% of interest in credit card debt, I am now able to actually fully enjoy the things that I get. I get to enjoy the things that I wear, the things that I purchase at stores, the things that I buy on vacation, the actual trips that I take. I'm able to fit all of the things that I love into my lifestyle because I don't have those debt payments, and because I know that when I'm buying these things, I have the money for it. I'm not actually being charged interest on these purchases. So there's less guilt, there's less stress, and I'm able to spend in a way that increases the life that I love, that gives me the things that I enjoy without any of the guilt and shame and stress. It's honestly so much nicer to have a financially balanced lifestyle like this where I'm able to spend and enjoy my money now because I know that I'm also debt-free and that I'm planning for my future with my investments. So the balance allows me to make a lot better financial choices when I'm spending, when I'm actually using my money. And the final benefit that I saw personally when paying off my debt and living debt-free is that it gave me confidence to do hard things. This is something that I've struggled with my whole life, and finding confidence in myself has been difficult at times, but doing something like paying off $82,000 in debt gave me confidence that I can do hard things. I can do things that take a long time. I can do things that take a lot of planning. I can do things that I didn't necessarily think I could do when I start. This has been life-changing for me because I know that any goal I set in any area of life, while it might take a while and it might be difficult and there might be ups and downs, I know I'm going to achieve it. Because if I want that goal, if I have set it, if I am working toward it, even if I have small setbacks, even if I have a month where things don't go as planned, I know that over time, I am consistent, I'm accountable, and I will achieve that goal. I can do hard things because I've done them before. Paying off debt is difficult, it's hard, it takes a long time for many of us, but once you do it, you realize that you can do hard things in every area of life. And that confidence to build wealth, to improve my life in other areas, is definitely a carryover from becoming debt-free. So for me, being debt-free has given me a whole new life. It has changed how I feel about money. It's changed the future that I have with wealth building. It has changed how I approach my obstacles in my everyday life. Being debt-free and paying off that debt was really, really hard. And if you're paying off debt right now, it might feel like it's going to take forever. It might feel very difficult, but it's 100% worth it. Yes, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be draining, it's going to take a lot of patience and discipline, but in the end, the freedom of being debt-free is well worth it, and I know you can get there. So if you're paying off debt right now, keep going, it's definitely worth it, and then check out this video for some tips on how to actually pay off your debt and achieve debt freedom.